27 for the Toronto Maple Leafs. A very fine two-way hockey player. He now has 105 points, which is more points than any Maple Leaf has ever registered in a season in the history of the Toronto Maple Leafs. Very fine player, and they say as Darryl Sittler goes, so goes the Toronto Maple Leafs. And another Maple Leaf just recently acquired Dan Maloney in a trade that has everybody buzzing and talking. He's wearing number 9 over from the Detroit Red Wings, in a trade that looks to be kind of one-sided. 2 first-round picks and 2 second-round picks along with Errol Thompson. So we'll have to watch Dan Maloney, but he does give the Toronto Maple Leafs some additional muscle, Fred.
And in goal tonight for Toronto, it'll be Mike Palmateer, and for Boston, Ron Graham. We'll have the opening face-off in just a minute.
When it's stew time and you're hungry, turn to Brigham's.
When you can't go home to stew time, turn to Brigham's. When your tummy starts to talk and you don't have to do much walking, the next time you get hungry, turn to Brigham's.
When the movie's done, you're hungry, turn to Brigham's.
When the home team's finally won one, turn to Brigham's. We've been doing lots more cooking. When you're hungry, take a look in. The next time you get hungry, turn to Brigham's.
What you doing, dear?
Underlining numbers we call in the phone book.
You're writing in the phone book? If the phone company finds out...
Oh, the phone company wants you to do it. It's quicker and easier than calling directory assistance. Anyway, it's our phone book, right?
Well, I guess.
Here, mark the numbers you call a lot.
You sure it's all right?
Uh-huh. What you doing, Dad?
Nothing.
Well, we're all set for action, but prior to that, the singing of the Canadian and American national anthems. Rennie Roncourt will sing them, and John Kiley will be at the organ.
Oh, Canada, our home and native land, true patriot love in all thy sons' command. With glowing heart we see thee rise, the true north strong and free, and stand on guard, oh Canada, we stand on guard for thee. Oh Canada, glorious and free, we stand on guard, we stand on guard for thee. Oh Canada, we stand on guard for thee. Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there.
officials for tonight's game, the referee John McCauley, Leon Stickle on our right, and on our left is Will Norris. And in goal for the Toronto Maple Leafs, Mike Palmateer, and the Leafs have gotten better goaltending than they might have expected at the start of the season. This youngster has really played extremely well. 2.65 goals against average, an excellent goals against average, while at the other end of the ice, 2.58, also extremely good. Ron Graham, who has played in a lot of games for the Bruins lately, 13 out of the last 14 is in between the pipes tonight for the Boston Bruins. And now for the great play-by-play from the Boston Garden, here's Fred Cusick.
Well, the big story, of course, would be Dan Maloney, who's there at left wing. Terry O'Reilly has checked, and the puck to O'Reilly, and he snaps it in wide of Palmateer. And Palmateer covers up. This broadcast authorized by the Boston Bruins Hockey Club solely for the entertainment of our viewing audience. Any broadcast, rebroadcast, or other use of the accounts and descriptions of this game without the express written consent of the Boston Bruins or TV 38 is prohibited. 27-year-old Dan Maloney, there you see him at left wing. At center, Sittler, one of the greats. And at right wing, Lanny McDonald, a big line. Maloney broken up by Park inside the line for O'Reilly. O'Reilly for McNabb. And O'Reilly was hit by Glennie as the puck goes in. And here's O'Reilly and Maloney going at it again. Right away. Maloney and O'Reilly flailing away at each other. I thought it was Glennie who tagged O'Reilly. And Maloney now hanging on, holding there, and O'Reilly trying to get loose and throw some punches, and the linesman, a tough assignment for Leon Stickle and for Willard Norris. So it might have been Maloney who tagged O'Reilly and flattened him with a hard hit. I thought it was Glennie, but they right up O'Reilly flailing away at Dan Maloney. And the linesmen finally move in. And they had an earlier fight in Detroit, you'll recall, O'Reilly and Maloney in the last meeting in the 2-2 game before he was traded to Toronto.
And one other thing, Fred, I don't know whether this had any effect on it or not, is the fact that Maloney was the one that hit Doak prior to the Hextall check, which put him out.
With this break in the action, let's pause for this message. This is Fred Cusick for Eastern Airlines. If the right place for you is Atlanta in the South, Eastern has the right time for you. 5 non-stops to Atlanta are conveniently scheduled from early morning to evening, and 5 non-stops back make it just as easy to return. In all, Eastern serves 23 cities in the South from Boston, like Birmingham, Charleston, and Memphis, including the only non-stop to New Orleans. So if you're flying from Atlanta or the South, call your travel agent or Eastern Airlines in Boston or Worcester. Eastern's got the right time and the right place for you.
Well, recently acquired Dan Maloney from the Red Wings to the Toronto Maple Leafs, a first-round pick in '70 by the Chicago Blackhawks, played for the London Knights. And he went from there to Los Angeles, and then he came over from Los Angeles in that trade with Marcel Dion and Terry Harper. And a big battle between O'Reilly and Maloney here with 19 seconds gone in the first period. And Maloney obviously brought over from the Red Wings for his added muscle. A lot of significance to the check, one thing, and of course the back to the Doak thing in Red Wings. I think if you add that all together, O'Reilly may have had that in the back of his mind.
Well, they get 5-minute majors and a heavy go, and the puck now faced to Rick Smith to Wensink, and he's pinned along the boards and can't get free on a face-off again in the Toronto end. And Toronto has brought up Kurt Walker from Hingham, Massachusetts. He's out there at right wing on a line with Dave Williams at left wing, and at center it is Jones against McNabb, Wensink, Cashman, O'Brien, and Smith. Johansson and Turnbull on defense for Toronto. Just underway, and the big fight in the first minute, Maloney and O'Reilly. The draw to Rick Smith, over to O'Brien. His shot is blocked by Turnbull. Turnbull out to Kurt Walker. Walker plays it in, going to the corner, and Jones there too. And a jam up. The Leafs were beaten last night by Pittsburgh at home, a real surprise. And as you said, that will only make them tougher tonight, John.
Well, they usually are. I know going back, and this is going back a few years, but the Leafs, if you could beat them Saturday night at home or somebody did, you always have to watch out at the opening part of the game on the road.
O'Brien wheels it around. Cashman moves it out, and McNabb has a break. He's over the line. He's with Winsink. He's moving in and got it in front, but it's knocked away by Johansson at the last minute and cleared. Rick Smith plays it back to O'Brien. O'Brien, Rick Smith. Williams a hit on O'Brien, and here they go. Dennis O'Brien and Williams. And Williams trying to get free. O'Brien has him wrapped up. A bear hug, which is the way to do it. I think Williams is getting the high sticking call, and then the fight. And they're still locked in kind of a bear hug. Dave Williams and Dennis O'Brien. And now the linesmen have a very tough assignment, and they get them separated. From Boston Garden, the score: Boston nothing and Toronto nothing.
The Great Ford Drive is really rolling throughout New England. Yes, the better ideas keep coming from your Ford dealer. Thousands of specially ordered 78 Fords. Like this mid-size Fairmont wagon with about 90% of the passenger space of full-size wagons and a surprisingly low sticker price. We've got the cars you want. So get on the move during the Great Ford Drive. Get a great buy at your New England Ford dealer now.
Well, we've got an explosive start here at the Boston Garden, the 5th meeting of the year between the Boston Bruins and the Toronto Maple Leafs. They will meet a total of 6 times, being in the same division. And Boston has fared pretty well. They've won 3 and tied 1. They have one more meeting in Toronto. And we've got the penalties. Williams gets 2 minutes for high sticking and 5 minutes for fighting. And O'Brien draws a 5-minute major penalty for fighting, so the 5s cancel off. The Leafs will be shorthanded for the next 2 minutes. It'll be 5-on-4.
So lots of fighting, not much hockey, and the best break was McNabb's moving down the right wing side, but he couldn't get an effective shot away on Mike Palmateer. Jones and Butler with Salming and Glennie, and for Boston the power play, Shepard between Cashman and Busick with Park and McNabb. .104 the time of the Williams-O'Brien outbreak. Puck to the Leafs, they clear it. O'Reilly and Maloney went out after 19 seconds. Park starts it away. Up for Shepard, tipped in wide of Palmateer. McNabb goes in. Jones trying to clear it. Park keeps it in. Takes a hit, gets it to Cashman. Cashman over on the boards, it goes to Busick. Back for Shepard. Shepard holding. Over to Park. His shot missed. Fought for. Salming. Busick. Busick to Cashman. Cashman wheels off in the corner. And flipped it. Shepard keeps it in. The shot high. The long rebound. Cashman. To McNabb cutting in front. McNabb wheels. Shot blocked by Glennie. Kept in by Cashman. To McNabb. Back for Park. Up for McNabb. Over to Busick. Intercepted by Salming and cleared away. 50 seconds left on the penalty. The Bruins with 44 power play goals. And Park starts it out. For McNabb. To Busick. For Shepard. To Park. Shot. Blocked in front. Goes wide. Busick. Salming battle. And around the boards, it's back to Park. Park holding. Into Busick. He can't get it. Now Cashman trying on the other side for Shepard. To Park. For McNabb. He's covered by Turnbull. Salming trying to clear and does. 12 seconds left on the Bruins power play. Park down. Pokes it up now to Jonathan. Jonathan starting out. Too many men on the ice. Possible penalty against Boston. And that's it coming up. From Boston Garden, a break in the action. This is the Boston Bruins Television Network. Off for Schmatz over the line. Fires. It's wide. Rebound. Marcotte in front. Scores! John Rendell! When the Bruins score on TV, you win at the finest. Every time the Bruins score on TV 38, you can win a pair of tickets to a Bruins home game and $25 in gift certificates at the finest. You can even win a vacation for two in sunny San Juan. Enter now at any finest supermarket and watch on TV 38. Score at the finest.
Well, sometimes when a team is changing, the man going off is a little slow to get to the bench, or the man on the bench a little premature getting onto the ice. And the combination of the two sometimes catches a team with 6 men on the ice, and the Bruins have just been assessed a too many men on the ice penalty at the 3-minute mark of the first period.
And 4 seconds. Four seconds left on the Bruins penalty, or rather on Williams' penalty, and right now it's a power play for Toronto. Boston with Milbury and Rick Smith on defense, Marcotte and Bob Miller up front. The power play for Toronto, no score in the game. Cashman is serving, too many men in the box. 52 power plays for Toronto. And this is Wilson, a rookie, for McDonald. Broken up, center ice, Rick Smith. Turnbull on it again now. Sittler, McDonald, Boutet, the forward line. And the puck rides up, and Boutet has it over the line, hit by Marcotte. Keeps it in. Checked by Marcotte. Rick Smith trying to wheel it around. Does. And outside the line. Wilson, the rookie, and Miller, the rookie, after him. And the pass up goes to Boutet. Plays it back deep to Turnbull. Boston short-handed. No score in the game. And Boutet starts it out. Looking for Sittler. Sittler over the line. The shot. Bouncer and a hard shot and a save by Ron Graham. And 1 minute exactly left on the penalty. This afternoon, Chicago beat Pittsburgh 9-1. In every Bruins hockey game, Schlitz Light Beer will name the most valuable player of the game. In the meantime, remember, it took Schlitz to bring the taste to life.
And that one other game completed this afternoon, St. Louis at Washington. The Blues won it 3-2 over the Capitals. But last night, the Capitals did it to Cleveland 8-2.
Sittler trying to get the face-off. Back for young Wilson. Wilson loses to Marcotte. With Shepard. Clears it in deep. And Shepard in forechecking. Try to sweep it back, but Sittler collects. His pass stopped by Rick Smith. And fed right back in the Leaf zone. 40 seconds left in the penalty. Saming is out now. Bumped by Shepard, and Shepard goes down on a ricochet off the check. Saming with Sittler starting out. Marcotte, Shepard, the penalty killers. And it goes up to young Wilson. Wilson to Sittler. He kicks it in the zone. Graham out. Try to wheel it around. Stopped by Lanny McDonald. Kicked free to Sittler. Broken up, Rick Smith. Around for Marcotte. Marcotte clears out. 10 seconds left on the penalty. Rattel is out for Boston. Saming moves it off to Mike Pelech, who's playing forward. Now to Sittler. Back for Pelech. He's taken to the boards by Milbury on a good hard check. And Shepard trying to move it out. Does so. Rattel, Sittler battle. Shepard now over to Park, and the Bruins getting organized. Jonathan with it. Up for Middleton, can't move. And Mike Pelech clears it in the Boston end. O'Reilly and Maloney still in the penalty box. O'Brien and Williams. Puck kept in by Ellis. Pass stopped by Park. Sends Rattel away with Middleton and Jonathan. Flips it, but Jonathan has to go to the corner deep. Jonathan wheeling. Gets it to Rattel. Quick shot. Save. Palmatier. Best chance of the game. Centering pass. Out to Sims. Right defense. A screen shot deflected wide. Sims right defense. Milbury left. Milbury keeps it in at the point. Now Ellis with it. Trying to come out. Checked by Rattel. Jam. And a face-off.
Well, no score in the hockey game, but we've seen some great action so far. A couple of fights broke out. O'Reilly and Maloney at the 19-second mark. And Williams and O'Brien went at it, but we didn't see too much of that at 1:04. And right at this moment, we have 14:05 left to play in the first period.
Jean Rattel, Rick Middleton, and Stan Jonathan with Milbury and Sims. First time we've seen Sims over in right defense. But O'Brien is in the penalty box. Here's Sims clearing in. He's played well for Boston. In deep, Jonathan after it. Can't center it. Jerry Butler back. Around for Boutet. Can't move it out. Middleton keeps it in. A pass looking for Rattel. Deflects over on the boards. Jonathan with it. Jonathan looking for Rattel. Rattel, a shot, a save. Palmatier, as Middleton was looking for a play in front. And the Bruins putting good pressure on with this line, as now O'Brien is back, but Williams still has time left. He got a total of 7 minutes. Face-off is to the right of Palmatier. Glennie and Salming go on the Toronto defense.
Well, the sign of a good offense on any team is when the forwards without the puck start moving around to get in a position to take the pass. And Boston's wingmen especially are extremely good at it over the last 10 or 15 games. They've really been moving into the openings.
Back to Rick Smith. Save! And the rebound goes to Middleton, off wing side. Middleton trying to wheel out of the corner to Rattel. Can't get power on it. And Jonathan hauled down on the play. And the puck cleared out by Toronto's Jones. Butler hustles down. O'Brien back to get it. His pass stopped by Boutet. Boutet drops it for Salming. Moving in, a shot. Ricochets high over the net. Bounced around again, but Jones has it. Jones broken up. Rattel trying to move it out. Can't. Rick Smith battling Jones, and Middleton clears it away. Now Boutet to Glennie. They come back. Puck taken by Middleton. His pass up stop. Rick Smith trying to move it back. Can't. Lanny McDonald avoids a Rick Smith check. Comes over the line. Is checked by O'Brien. The shot trickles wide. And Graham passes off to Rattel. Rattel slides it out. Down to the Toronto end. And Jonathan down on Sittler. And Sittler gets it to Salming. No score. Pass out stopped by Middleton's back checking. Middleton for Marcotte. Marcotte clearing in wide of Palmatier. 12:22 left first period. Brian Glennie around for Lanny McDonald. Stopped by Milbury. His pass blocked by Glennie. Glennie's pass goes right to Park. Up for Shepard. Shepard plays it in. Cashman moving in on Maloney, but it ricochets to Shepard. Wheels for a shot that misses. Milbury left side keeps it in. Fires it. Scores! Wayne Cashman deflected it home with his back to the net. And Mike Milbury fired across in front. And Wayne Cashman gets his 18th goal of the year.
Well, a beautiful play set up here by Greg Shepard as he banked it off the boards back of the net. Now here's Milbury, who makes a fine play, centering it out in front. Watch Cashman. He's almost in the goal crease, but Salming is on top of him, and he just managed to scoop it back as Salming argued on the play, but Cashman, beautiful tip in. Players practice that constantly during a practice, having somebody shoot it from the point, standing in front, trying to deflect it every different way, and Cashman got a beautiful goal. Milbury and Shepard assisting, and it comes at 7:59. The Leafs were not too happy. They figured Cashman might have been in the goal crease. It was extremely close.
Puck to Park, gets it up the middle to McNabb with O'Reilly and Wensing. McNabb over the line, checked in the play by Turnbull. Johansson drives it around, stopped by Milbury. Milbury keeps it in. And McNabb battling Turnbull. A face-off call to the right of Palmatier. First goal by Wayne Cashman in 3 years against Toronto. But he was in the right spot to tip it home.
We talked about the record, Fred. Most number of players over 20 or over in a season. Boston has a combination of what could be 11. Cashman had 17. He now has 18. Shepard and Milbury assisting at 7:59.
McNabb, Wensink, O'Reilly with Milbury and Park. Stan Weir on the draw. It goes to Milbury. Milbury rolls it in front. On the other side, Williams wrapping up O'Reilly. And Park keeps it in. Around the boards, McNabb can't get it. Johansson trying to come out. Oh, he's hit. And McNabb to Wensink. A shot blocked, loose, and jammed up as the Bruins, 3 men were coming in on Palmatier, and he made the stop on Wensink.
Well, John Wensink made the big play here on Johansson using the body. Now watch this develop. This is good play because that's Milbury to McNabb into Wensink. Now here's where he could have drawn it a little wider, but that big menacing stick of Palmatier. Actually, Mike Palmatier made a fine play on it to prevent a shot on goal.
Puck back to Milbury, over to Park, fires in, and Palmatier saves. Wensink keeps it in to O'Reilly. O'Reilly trying to drop it back. And Weir has it and clears. Boston leads 1-0. And McNabb fires in. Wensink trying to get it. Gets it over to O'Reilly. O'Reilly back for Park. Park fires. It rolls in front. Loose. Shot to score by John Wensink. John Wensink on a turnaround shot in front after Brad Park's drive from the point was stopped. And Wensink makes it 2-0.
Well, Boston has been able to apply all kinds of pressure on the Leafs since almost the opening gun. And here's Wensink perfectly positioned in front. He picked up a loose puck. And Wensink, who loves to stand in front and use the body and take men out of the play, found himself all by himself. And the little black thing was right there, and he swept it underneath Palmateer. And it's 2-0 in favor of the Bruins, as they have really been able to pin the Leafs in their own end. For Wensink is 15th of the year.
And Roger Nielsen, the Toronto coach, sends out his big wave. Sittler, Maloney, and McDonald. Don Cherry counters with Shepard, Marcotte, and Cashman. And basically, I think we'll try and play that line against this big one. As Wensink makes it 2-0. Rick Smith to Marcotte, to Shepard. And Cashman is offside on the play. Let's pause 5 seconds for station identification. This is the Boston Bruins Television Network.
This is TV 38, WSBK TV, Boston.
Wensink from Park and McNabb at 9:08. And Ferguson is out now with Butler and Boutet. Nielsen is going to try and put the Sittler line on against somebody else, but Boston has the 2-goal lead. Marcotte knocks down a pass out. Salming with it. Now it goes to Boutet. He's hit, along with McCauley, the referee, and Cashman to Shepard. The shot blocked in front as Shepard had to get a quick one away. Marcotte battling Ferguson. And Shepard flips it back in the Toronto end. Glennie now off for Boutet. But Shepard got it center ice and cleared it away. A break in the action. The score, Boston 2 and Toronto nothing.
This is the color red. Everybody loves red, except business people. They'd rather be in the black. The right color scheme for getting a business from red to black is to add a little yellow. A Yellow Pages ad. 4 out of 5 potential customers look for you in the Yellow Pages. How can they call if they don't see you at all? Run your business in the yellow.
A little bit of line juggling here. I think Roger Nielsen, the coach of the Leafs, would like to play Sittler's line against Rattel's line, but Cherry's not going to allow him to do that because he has the last say on the home ice, and Shepard's out there with against Sittler.
Shepard, Cashman, and Marcotte stay out there. Now the Leafs change. And this one went off Cashman to the Leaf bench. So Nielsen's going to spend a lot of time doing this. Down 2-0. I don't know. It's to me, it's a waste of time trying to jockey now.
Well, one of the problems with the Leafs really is all their scoring, or most of their scoring, is in one line. Sittler, Maloney, and McDonald. A very fine two-way line. Probably one of the better lines in the league, if not the best. But they really combine beautifully. But behind that, they do not have the offensive power to sustain the attack.
Puck fed to the Boston zone, and this one is called for an offside. But if he's going to be putting the line out there and taking them off, I'm thinking of Nielsen. He's wasting a lot of momentum.
Well, the strategy, Fred, would be to play your top line against anybody and hope they're going to survive, right? The more you jockey, the more you lose the momentum of your big line. And here's Rattel going out with Sittler in there, and now we're going to have a little jockeying going on, but I'm sure the referee's going to step into the middle of this in a moment.
Well, Cherry has the last move, and so he keeps Shepard out against Sittler now for the moment. And Nielsen undoubtedly will change them on the fly. That's what he does. Sittler moves off. And to me, that wastes an awful lot of momentum. I mean, distraction from getting things going. Dennis O'Brien rushes center ice to Rattel. Rattel trying to move in, and Jonathan is offside on the play. 9:31 left, and very frequent whistles, and it's okay with Boston. They're ahead 2-0.
Well, without overdoing the matchups, Fred, which sometimes can be overdone, Marcotte is great on McDonald because McDonald likes to come in as a trailer. Marcotte never leaves him alone. He stays right with him. He doesn't go ahead of him too far, which is what McDonald likes. And then you've got the problem of Shepard on Sittler, and Shepard is great on those big men. He gets underneath them where they can't maneuver as well as they would like. Perreault, he drives them nuts for Buffalo.
Well, now Toronto makes the change, and Don Cherry's going to play his game. He stays with the Rattel line out there and to keep some kind of a flow in the game. O'Brien's pass up blocked, and with it, Dan Maloney. The Leafs gave up a franchise practically to get Dan Maloney. Puck goes to Middleton. Middleton away looking for Jonathan. Jonathan pokes it in. Is checked by Salming. The puck into the corner. Glennie drives it around. Middleton trying to get it. Can't. O'Brien does. His pass blocked. Now fed in the corner. Middleton flips it. Kept in. Rick Smith. Rick Smith up the boards. A lost stick by somebody. And it was Sittler. Now the puck to O'Brien. And O'Brien hits Sittler and flattened him. O'Brien flipped an offside pass, and here's Jonathan pouncing on Sittler. And away we go with a wild brawl in front of the Toronto bench. It appeared to me that O'Brien had whacked Sittler, and Stan Jonathan came right over and pounded Darryl Sittler. And Sittler trying to go at him, and the linesmen have stepped in between. A lot of bad blood in this one. And John McCauley is yelling at Nielsen. But I tell you, we'll look at the replay. It seemed to me O'Brien caught Sittler on a hard check. And while he was down, Jonathan came over and pounded him. And Jonathan is cut on the forehead. And McCauley is saying something. We'll see what comes out of this. And we're in the first period. The score, Boston 2 and Toronto nothing.
Announcing the great Dodge option sale. Here's the 1978 Dodge Aspen, the greatest sales success story in Dodge history. Now with 16 popular options, sticker priced at $250 less than the cost of these options if purchased separately. Electronic options, styling options. To come to your Dodge dealer at sticker prices that let him help you save during the great Dodge option sale.
Today's Dodge dealers got it all.
O'Brien and Sittler will collide right here. Here comes Sittler across. Now watch the forearm. And he gives the brush to O'Brien. Now he's off balance. Here comes Jonathan as he gets up. Here's Jonathan moving through. And watch the push with the two gloves together. If we see it at the right-hand corner of your screen. Well, you missed it. We didn't get it. But Jonathan took both gloves and he pushed them right into Sittler's face and knocked him backwards. We'll say this. Sittler was a little bit off balance. He was just starting to get up as Jonathan hit him. How Jonathan got cut in the affair, I don't know, but Sittler was underneath punching away, and whether he landed one above the left eye of Jonathan, I don't know, but we've got penalties coming up here, and we've had a ton of them so far in terms of total minutes, with 2 fights so far, O'Reilly and Maloney, Williams and O'Brien, and now Sittler and Jonathan, and there may be a third man in penalty here. I don't know. We'll have to wait and see, but Jonathan is in the penalty box. We'll wait for the announcement.
Glennie is arguing because after the O'Brien-Sittler collision, obviously, Jonathan had instigated it by coming over and charging Sittler. Let's see if he gets added penalties. But again, as they started to tangle, Glennie could be thrown out. Glennie is arguing, and McCauley talking with his linesman, trying to resolve it. Not easy, but I would guess Jonathan would get the extra penalty.
Well, Jonathan could conceivably get a third man in penalty. I don't know how they're going to call it. You don't have to have a fight going on to have a third man into an affair. It can be high sticking. It can be roughing against the two combatants. But we're going to wait and see what the announcement is. Jonathan could be through for the night.
Well, right now he's sitting in the penalty box, and McCauley is trying to straighten out the assessments. Boston in front 2-0, and it has been a wild scene. We've got a 5-minute penalty against Jonathan and 2 against Sittler. So the Bruins are going to be short-handed 3 minutes. Glennie gets a game misconduct as the third man in.
Well, he separated the good check by Sittler and O'Brien, I guess, and figured that it was Jonathan and Sittler going at it. Glennie moved through the circle and picked up the back of Jonathan, and he is assessed a game misconduct as the third man in. So the referee has finally put it to bed, and I would say, Fred, that he called it pretty well. I never gave it much thought that O'Brien and Sittler, nothing, right? They were just
a check.
Good body checking. But the Jonathan Sittler was what started it, and then Glennie, naturally, being the third man in, draws a game misconduct. The penalties come at 11 minutes and 17 seconds of the first period.
Glennie out of the game, you see him go. But Boston, after 2 minutes, is going to be short a man for 3 minutes. A power play for Toronto. But let me say, I don't bet that anybody has challenged Darryl Sittler like that right in front of the Toronto bench. As apparently Jonathan thought maybe Sittler gave O'Brien the worst of it, but that didn't happen. O'Brien, in that collision, seemed to throw a left, could have been a punch, and down went Sittler.
Well, it was obvious at the start with O'Reilly and Maloney and Williams and O'Brien that the players were not going to stand around and wait to be invited. They were just going to move in and do something about it.
We're looking at Jonathan, who gets a 5-minute major, and there have been 41 minutes of penalties in this game already, and we still have 8 minutes and 43 seconds left to play in the first period. It all started 19 seconds into the game, O'Reilly and Maloney, and it has continued. But meanwhile, the Bruins have interspersed 2 goals by Wayne Cashman and John Wensink, and right now both teams are shorthanded. McNabb and Miller with Milbury and O'Brien for Boston. Weir is out there for Toronto. Turnbull being checked by Miller. Now McNabb. And Miller steps in, but Ellis gets it off to Weir. Weir broken up at the line. A pass over on the boards to Pelech, who has to play defense now. Play broken up. Now O'Brien can't control it, and Ellis keeps it in. Back for Weir. Now to Turnbull. His shot misfired, trickles in, and O'Brien takes it around for Miller. Miller runs into Pelech, and here's a lead pass. Milbury to McNabb, moving in, the shot, the save, Palmatier, and the puck to Milbury, trying to drop it back to the point, couldn't do it, as the Bruins had a good chance there. O'Brien up for McNabb. McNabb's pass is stopped by Ron Ellis. In 1 minute and 9 seconds, the Leafs will have a man advantage and will have a 3-minute power play. That's a major. Here's a breakdown, 2-on-1. Weir with O'Brien back alone. Turnbull there. And the pass in front. Blocked. Score! Weir rolls it in the corner. As Stan Weir gets the score for Toronto. And that makes it 2-1.
Well, not a good goal to have scored against the Bruins while they face the 3-minute man disadvantage situation. Here's Weir with a good individual effort, using number 2 Turnbull as a partial screen on O'Brien. And he cut right in front, and that puck eluded Graham, and the Leafs, on a very fine individual effort by Stan Weir, get on the scoreboard. He's number 14, and he scored the goal, and it comes at 12 minutes and 21 seconds of the first period.
Well, that was a 2-on-1 situation, something the Bruins certainly should not have allowed under the circumstances. O'Brien clears it around now, and Milbury, trying to poke it out, is knocked down on the play. The puck kept in by Boutet. He's checked by Rattel. Rattel in turn checked. Ferguson has it. Ferguson off in the corner. Back for Pelech. A shot wide, and not too wide. Turnbull keeps it in. Over on the right side to Ferguson. Ferguson with the puck. Flipped in front, knocked away by Rattel. Rattel trying to move it out. Milbury jammed up, and the Bruins take the whistle and a face-off to the left of Ron Graham. In 19 seconds, the Leafs will have the power play. Sittler will come out of the penalty box, and Jonathan will have 3 more minutes left on his major. Weir's 9th of the year from Ellis and Pelech at 12:21, as the Bruins were caught in a 2-on-1 situation. O'Brien, the only defenseman back. Marcotte and Shepard are discussing a situation with John McCauley. Both teams are short. Both teams have men in the penalty box. But Sittler will be out in 19 seconds. Now McDonald keeps it in for Salming. Shot blocked by Park to Marcotte. Shepard broke a stick. Marcotte fires a long one in on Palmatier. And Turnbull starts it back. Can carry well. Checked by Park. The drop pass checked by Marcotte on Williams. And it's jammed on the boards and a face-off call. And now Toronto has the man advantage. Shepard and Marcotte with Park and Rick Smith. The power play Toronto has Sittler, McDonald, and Williams. And you have to realize in the 2 minutes, 55 seconds left, Jonathan cannot come back if a goal is scored. That is a major penalty he is serving in that jam. A 5-minute major for fighting. Sittler got 2 for roughing, and Glennie a game misconduct. Rick Smith clears, and it bounces for Shepard with Marcotte 2-on-1 maybe. He goes for the shot, and it's blocked. Shepard's shot blocked by Salming. And out comes Sittler. Up the middle. Pulled down by Brad Park, and a beautiful check brought him down. And Rick Smith off for Marcotte. And Marcotte clears in. Oh, what a stylish check that was by Park on Sittler. An excellent puck carrier. Williams' pass blocked. Goes to Shepard, and the Bruins are ruled offside. Beautiful hip check by Brad Park.
Boy, and a tough man to stop. This Darryl Sittler can really shift, and he's got it going here, but Brad Park just got him with the side of his leg and maybe a little bit of that hip, and he managed to bring Sittler down as he looked like he might have been able to sift through that Boston defense.
Boston leads 2-1. 6:02 left in the first period. 41 minutes of penalties, a lot of fights, and a game misconduct. Pass to Sittler, right wing side. Ran into Willard Norris, cleared the puck too far ahead. Now Williams trying to keep it in. Back for Salming. Up for Sittler. He missed it on the other side. Williams. Now to Sittler. Quick pass, blocked. And Park to Shepard. Shepard by Turnbull. Looks for Marcotte, and they're offside at the line. On a delayed call. 1:48 left on the major penalty to Stan Jonathan with 5:31 left in the period.
And the goal scorers, 2 for the Bruins. Cashman is 18th of the year, and John Wensick is 15th. Made it 2-0 Boston before Stan Weir scored his 9th of the year. And that's the way it stands right at this moment. 2-1 Boston.
And Toronto sends out Weir, Ellis, and Maloney as a line, and Boston with Miller and Marcotte. Park and Milbury stay out there. Miller got the draw to Park. Park taking his time and clears. Miller down a forecheck. Turnbull. Now to Weir. Weir back for Turnbull. Turnbull over the line. Can really move. Goes in deep, drops it. It goes all the way to the Toronto end. Back for Salming. 1:18 left on the Jonathan penalty. Salming to Maloney. Now to Ron Ellis. Ellis over the line. Broken up by Miller. But it's kept in by Salming. Shot blocked. And kept in by Maloney. Maloney to Turnbull. Missed on the short side bit. A good quick shot. Salming keeps it in. He's hit. Rolls near Graham. He ties it up. With this break in the action, let's pause for this message.
You can take away my hook shot and the pass behind my back. You can take away all my deceptive moves and my slam dunk attack. You can take away my rebound, my fast and fancy play. But please don't take my gusto away.
If you don't have sex, you don't have gusto. No, you don't have faith.
Say, man, you double dribble my gusto.
Face off to the left of Graham. 52 seconds left on the penalty. Shepard out there on the draw. It goes to Toronto. Salming. Salming's pass blocked by Park and cleared. Park and Rick Smith. Miller and Shepard, the penalty killers. 40 seconds left on the Toronto power play. Boston leads 2-1. McDonald off for Sittler. Sittler broken up by Park. Penalty, Sittler. Sittler for tripping. Delayed call. He tripped Park after Park broke him up. And Williams protesting. Out goes Sittler for hooking Brad Park.
Well, you never get around Brad Park when he's coming at you from an angle by faking this kind of a draw, because you watch what he does. He's got such great control of his skates, and there's the hooking call right there as Sittler knocks down Brad Park. But Park, when he turns and comes at you sideways, he's got those skates parallel. Very difficult to pull the puck between his skates because he's moving and there's not much room. And he can control that thing very, very well, and he just took it away from Sittler.
Sittler slowed up John, too, trying to make some kind of a move there, too, and that takes a lot away from Sittler.
Well, you see, when you go to shoot, naturally a player slows down because he wants to get the momentum behind the shot. Sittler faked the shot. Then he tried to slide by him at the last minute, but Park was right there.
Rattel, O'Reilly, Rick Smith, and Park. 22 seconds. Jonathan will be back, and then Boston will have a power play. Boston leads 2-1. Goals by Cashman and Wensink. Weir for Toronto. A pass looking for Pelech. O'Reilly has it. Now Rick Smith. Jonathan will be out shortly. Up to Park. Park over the line. Loses to Jones. Jonathan out. Power play Boston. Around the boards, O'Reilly trying to keep it in. Does. O'Reilly avoids a check of Pelech. Drops it for Park. Right point. Power play for the Bruins. Now to Rick Smith. Quick shot in. Deflected. High. O'Reilly gets the rebound. Knocked down. Got it to Park. Park knocked down. Rattel has it. Rattel moving. The shot blocked in the corner. It is Salming. Checked by O'Reilly. Goes up to Jones. He's checked. O'Reilly got it back to Park again. Park holding. In for Rattel. Rattel over to Rick Smith. Back for Park. It's outside the line. 50 seconds left. Park to O'Reilly. Trying to get away from Jones. Does. O'Reilly to Rattel over the line. Back for O'Reilly. Back for Park. He missed it. And Butler and Rick Smith race and battle for it. And O'Reilly starts it back. Still a power play. O'Reilly up the middle. Checked. Puck to Rattel. The shot blocked by the Leafs in front. And cleared away. 18 seconds left on Sittler's penalty. 2:24 left in the first period. 2-1 the Bruins lead. Rick Smith starts it out. Clearing in wide of Palmateer. Palmateer himself clears it around the dasher, and Johansson starts it away. Looking for Ferguson. He's got it. He's over the line. He's broken up by O'Brien. Back comes Rattel. Full strength Toronto. Rattel in for Cashman. It goes into the corner. Johansson there. Checked by Cashman. And the clear goes into the stands. The faceoff will be to the right of Mike Palmateer. Coming up between the first and second periods, John Pearson will be talking with Darryl Sittler. Mini 1-on-1 action continues with a semifinal round match in squirt competition as Winthrop meets Kennebec, Maine. McNabb, Middleton, Wensink the line. Face off to the right of Palmateer. Poked in front. Batted away by Toronto. Middleton checks Williams. Wensink over there. A jam. And a face-off call by McCauley outside the line. 1:42 left in the period. Wayne Cashman is 18th. John Wensink right there scored his 15th. And then Weir for Toronto. And the Bruins lead it 2-1. Weir is centering Williams and Ellis. Johansson. Long drive in. Rebound Middleton. Can't move it out. Weir kept it in. His pass stopped. And out comes McNabb with Milbury. Cleared in wide of Palmateer, who touched it. Try to move it around. Goes to McNabb. McNabb behind the net. And Wensink fans on the shot. And a breakout for the Leafs. Williams. O'Brien getting back in position. The shot, the save. Graham. The rebound by Williams, and it's high. Back comes Middleton. Long pass on the left, too far ahead of Wensink. And Johansson gets it. His flip pass stopped by Middleton. Middleton starting away. lead pass into the Toronto zone. 1 minute left in the first period. Boston leads 2-1. Johansson holding behind the net. Long pass connects with McDonald. Now Turnbull. Broken up. Rick Smith. Got it over on the other side to Marcotte with Middelin. And Marcotte lost it, gets it again. Flips it in wide of Palmatier. Johansson can't flip it out. Kept in by Cashman. Cashman into the corner. In front. It is blocked by Palmatier. The shot on net. And back comes McDonald. Off for Dan Maloney with Sittler. Pass to Sittler. Broken up by Park. 17 seconds left. Cashman back coming up on Pelech. Drives, and it's deflected by Pelech high in the corner. Marcotte trying to keep it in. Wheels it around the boards. Maloney there. Shepard checks. Back for Park. They can't keep it inside the line. McDonald rushes with 2 seconds left. His shot is wide, and the period ends. Scored the finest with the Bruins in the first period tonight. The Bruins scored 2 goals. And Robert Mistretta of Winchester, Massachusetts, and Francis X. Coleman of Alston, Massachusetts, are winners of 2 tickets to a future Bruins game, plus a $25 food certificate from the finest. Enter now at your finest supermarket and score with the Bruins. At the end of 1, 2-1 the Bruins. Tom Larson will be right back with first period intermission after these messages.
Is Gillette Foamy thick and rich enough to stop this super sports car? No. Is Foamy thick and rich enough to support this lovely lady? No. Is Foamy thick and rich enough to hold up this husky hiker?
No. But if you want a clean, close shave, it's more than thick and rich enough.
It's that time of the year when McDonald's is serving Shamrock Shakes. Take one sip and a little luck of the Irish could come your way. Come try our Shamrock Shakes now. There's something fun. Good luck may come your way now. They're frosty, triple thick and green. Give one a try. A little Irish luck is easy to come by at McDonald's. Shamrock Shakes, we do it all for you. Here's to good luck.
Thousands are winning in the daily numbers game.
Everybody has a lucky day or a lucky week now and then. Everybody has a lucky number. You have a grandchild that's birthday or your wife's birthday. Those are lucky numbers. Play them. They cost you so very little, but the thrill that you get out of it is terrific.
Do you think it's easy to play the numbers game?
Oh, sure, yes. Takes you 1 or 2 minutes, and it tells you exactly what to do on the slip of paper.
Have you played your number today?
We like your style wherever you work, whatever you do, whatever it is that makes you, you.
At the First National Bank of Boston, we like your style. That's why we offer a whole range of banking services to match it. Visit the First and see for yourself. See how our style of banking fits your style of life.
Here at the First, we like your style.
Well, after 1 period of hockey at Boston Garden, it's Boston 2 and Toronto 1. First period shots on goal, Boston 9 and Toronto 4. Back to John Pearson now and his between periods guest, Roger Nielsen.
Well, Roger, you're nice to pinch hit for Darryl Sittler, but I can understand Darryl wanting to get a little extra rest after a very physical first period.
That's right. It was one of those games that you never know what's going to happen, but all of a sudden it breaks out, and I know. I think we've got a team now that can play tough with anybody, and everyone knows Boston can. So maybe we're going to get more games like this.
Roger, do you feel that roughness is a necessary prerequisite to winning in the National Hockey League?
Oh, I think so. And even a team like Montreal Canadiens knows that they've got to have some physical players like Chartres, Lupien, and Bouchard, and you definitely need that. You also need some good hockey players as well, but I think it's a necessary ingredient.
And of course that is accentuated, the roughness, by the closer checking, right? A lot of coaches are talking more defensive than offensive play.
Well, I think that you have to check to be a good team, to be a Stanley Cup contender, and I think our team has had the scoring. We just got to play a little tighter and perhaps a little tougher. And Boston do a good job that way. They all work hard and they all check and they finish their checks. And I think probably we've got a little better scoring than they do on our team, but we've got to tighten up our checking a little.
Is that one of the reasons why the Leafs tried to acquire Dan Maloney from the Red Wings? Tough, hard-nosed type of player?
No question about it. And we felt we were a little weak physically on the wings. But now on the left side, particularly with Maloney and Tiger Williams and Patty Boutette, we're in a lot better shape that way.
Roger, a lot of coaches now are emphasizing defense, as I mentioned before, and back-checking. Do you think that's hampering the freewheeling, high-scoring type of hockey player, or don't you think it makes any difference?
Oh, no, if a team is doing their job checking, naturally the game becomes tighter and the freewheelers can't go as well. Take tonight now, a player like Sittler and McDonald, who are probably two best scorers. They have a rough time putting out nice passing plays, and it's a grind them out game. And fortunately, they can play that type as well. But it's different than a game where the guys are just freewheeling up and down.
Of course, that's one of the things that Boston or the opposition would look for against Sittler and McDonald, wouldn't it? Try to get them close because they are tremendous scorers.
Oh, there's no question about that. And this is another reason why Dan Maloney is valuable, because the other teams put their checkers out against the Sittler line. They try to get them riled up. They try to get them into fights and so on. Well, you need a big, tough guy to look after them. And it's pretty rough on the good players in the league, the guys like Guy Lafleur, who know they're going to have a checker tailing them all night and aggravating them, and they have to have a lot of patience, too.
Roger, you're nice to fill in. I appreciate you taking the time. Nice to have you with us.
Thank you, Johnny.
Roger Nielsen, coach of the Toronto Maple Leafs, and now to Tom Larson.
Between period guests receive a Fioravanti suit by Brookfield, another touch of class from Eastern Coat in Watertown. Tomorrow night's NHL 78 telecast should be of considerable interest. The New York Islanders and the Philadelphia Flyers, two contenders for their divisional title, will meet head-on at the Spectrum tomorrow evening. We'll have that telecast here on TV 38 starting at 8 o'clock. On Tuesday night, Boston at Cleveland at 8. Thursday, the Blackhawks at Boston Garden at 7:30. And next Sunday evening, it'll be Montreal at Boston. We'll get another semifinal match in this year's mini one-on-one here in a moment. Squirt competition as Winthrop meets Kennebec, Maine.
It's been terrific.
I wish we could start all over. This winter, let Eastern Airlines give you the sunshine of Florida, the place to be, with more flights to more cities and more vacation plans than anyone.
You were in your bathing suit in 2 seconds flat. Your game was really brilliant.
Mickey had a real crush on you. Let Eastern sunshine in Walt Disney World, Miami, Fort Lauderdale, and 13 other Florida cities brighten your life.
I really love the husband I discovered down here.
Eastern, we've got your sunshine.
What would you call a car that gives you outstanding stability and handling in snow, wind, and rain? What would you call a car with rack and pinion steering, AM radio, white wall radial tires, front disc brakes, and front wheel drive standard? Motor Trend magazine calls it the car of the year. Plymouth calls it Horizon. New Plymouth Horizon. To go anywhere in comfort and confidence.
Relax, Horizon can handle it.
You can take away my drummer, take away the bass. You can take away my guitar picker and close down the place. You can take away my keyboard, I can swing it night or day. Just please don't take my gusto away.
If you don't have Schlitz, you don't have gusto.
And brother, you don't have beer.
Firestone Superstone.
Night when I was making the Ride magazine, half Firestone was giving away free 3 Fords that are something to see. The #1 van machine.
Ooh, supreme!
A 4x4 that's really more. A mini pickup.
It makes my heart go giddy up.
30 little machines, what a scene.
All you gotta do to enter is run to Firestone's Tire Centers.
Firestone Superstone Sweepstakes.
From Winthrop, the goaltender is Norman Blanchard, and the shooter is Spike Tiano. They go up against goaltender Mickey Boardman and shooter Anthony Fonts from Kennebec, Maine. Arthur Brown Arena on the campus of Boston University as TV 38 Sports presents Mini One-on-One. Folks are kind of charged up here around Gregorio because we're in the semifinals of squirt competition. Winthrop and Kennebec Valley, Maine. Winthrop has been here. This is their 4th year, but they've never won this thing. And Kennebec Valley, Maine is here for the first time with a chance to win it.
Yes, and little Anthony Fonts from Kennebec Valley, Maine has been very impressive as the shooters, as has Spike Tiano from Winthrop. 2 excellent shooters.
And we pick up Spike Tiano first as he cruises in on Mickey Boardman, the Kennebec Valley, Maine goaltender. And Tiano gives Winthrop a 1-0 lead. All right, check little Anthony Fonts. It's Fontes. He is a little guy, but can he skate and can he shoot? Norman Blanchard is the goaltender. A goal. May have jammed it against the post, but the save was made.
Norman Blanchard made a nice play on that, just holding his ground and waiting for little Fonts to come in.
Winthrop leads 2-0. Tiano scores to make it 3-0 after 3 shots. Winthrop is out to a quick 3-0 lead.
The profile. In TV Guide, it emerges as a full-length portrait that doesn't pry into a person's life, but into his mind. Understanding the people who make television work can help you understand television better. And nothing brings television into focus like TV Guide.
Now at Kennedy's, the first sale of spring. 20 to 30% off on new spring fashions. The lowest prices of the season. Gather the savings while you may at all Kennedy stores.
Here comes Anthony Fonts, and why he's a good goal scorer is that he watches, he holds, he waits for the goalie to commit himself. But what Blanchard didn't do was commit himself. He held his position, and then he made the save. It was because he held his position long enough to force the forward to make the first move.
Well, this kid is fun to watch. Anthony Fonts, who's the shooter from Kennebec Valley, Maine. He has to score here, or Winthrop will win the match. Makes the fake to inside, but Blanchard made an awfully fine reaction to poke that one away. 4-0 Winthrop. So Winthrop has moved into the finals against Edgewood, Rhode Island. Will take these final 2 shots just to complete the series. Spike Tiano, Winthrop shooter, makes it 5-0. So Winthrop is making this one pretty easy. 1 more shot for Anthony Fonts.
I'll tell you this, Kennebec Valley has done very well for their first appearance.
Here's Fonts. Flips a soft shot that almost got by, but he made the save with a glove, and it's a shutout in this semifinal match as Winthrop advances to the final round over to meet Edgewood, Rhode Island in squirt competition. The final score, Winthrop 6 and Kennebec Valley, Maine 0.
If they grow up, they forget about the parents.
Why not call him?
What, 40 miles?
Well, after 7, dial yourself. No operator involved. It's only $1.05 for toll calls up to 40 miles away.
Yeah?
For 5 minutes.
You love somebody, so keep in touch. 5-minute call doesn't cost much. Just wait till 7 and man alive, you can call 40 miles for $1.05.
Well, we made contact.
Terrific.
Hi, I'm Bob Miller of the Boston Bruins. When it comes to hockey, I'm a professional. And when it comes to feeding your family the highest quality foods at some of the best prices in town, you can't beat the finest. Their beef is always tender and juicy, and their fruits and vegetables are the freshest in town. How do I know all this about Finest? Easy. My mom's been a Finest shopper as long as I can remember, and she knows the pros. So come to the Finest and score with the pros.
Listen to what people are saying about their home video recorders.
Mine records only 2 hours per cassette.
There's a better one. It offers up to 4 hours. Magnavox.
I paid extra for a separate timer.
Magnavox comes with a timer built in.
Can't edit by remote control.
With the better one, you can.
Costly cassettes.
More tape for your money with the Magnavox home video cassette recorder. The better one, new from Magnavox.
Monday and Tuesday at Leachmere's Super Sale, you'll save in every department. For example, a deluxe RCA XL 100 color TV, only $314.88. A Gibson 18-pound capacity 3-cycle washer, just $239.88. And a Precor AM/FM stereo with 8-track player and full-size BSR record changer, only $69.88. Don't miss Leachmere's 2-day Super Sale.
There's a very good chance you already have this information, but there are 4 Red Sox spring training games that we will be televising here on TV 38, starting with next Saturday afternoon's game against the Chicago White Sox. And then on Thursday, March 30th, the Red Sox play the Mets. Sunday, April 2nd, the Atlanta Braves. Tuesday, April 4th, the Pittsburgh Pirates. The club's back on the ice at the end of one period and about set to go for the second. The Bruins lead the Toronto Maple Leafs by a score of 2-1 on goals by Wayne Cashman and John Wensink. In that first period, the Toronto score was by Stan Weir. Shots on goal in the first period, Boston 9, Toronto 4. Second period action now with Fred Cusick and John Pearson.
Which produced a very entertaining first period between the Toronto Maple Leafs and the Boston Bruins. But Fred, Boston did spend quite a bit of time in the Leaf zone during the course of the period.
Good period for Boston. They'd like to continue it. It was interrupted by the fights, but I think they can put some pressure on the Toronto defense as we look at some signs and checking the injuries.
Well, we've got the same story that we had yesterday afternoon from New York. Cheevers with the knee indefinite, not skating. Foster is skating, but he's got that knee problem, and that's also indefinite. Gary Doak may try skating tomorrow, not improving quite as quickly as they thought at the first, but the cuts and the facial fractures look great. I talked to him in the dressing room before the game. We'll go over Schmatz and Gilbert in a moment, but play is underway.
Shepard on against Sittler, and Walker is playing right wing. Kurt Walker from Hingham. Fed in by Sittler, could be icing. Oh, Milbury caught Walker, and down he went. And a penalty on Milbury. Milbury gets a board check here, or interference it is, on Kurt Walker, and Toronto gets a power play.
Well, this is a penalty that I like to see called more often, but it never is. Now, Walker's going for the puck, and so is Milbury, and he takes him out of the play. Now, Walker has not touched the puck, and it's legally interference. However, in a race for the puck like that, generally speaking, night after night after night, nothing is done about it. I don't see why it should be called now against Boston, but legally, in terms of the rules, that's a good call by the referee, actually, but that doesn't mean anything totally. With 14 seconds gone in the second period, Milbury's in the penalty box for interference.
Wayne Cashman, the captain of the Bruins, arguing the point with John McCauley. The point that Johnny Pearson made, that both were going for the puck. Sittler, Maloney, and McDonald, the power play with Turnbull and Salming. Boston, Shepard and Marcotte, Rick Smith and Park. Rick Smith clears it. Salming back. Now to Darryl Sittler, the Leafs captain. Broken up by Marcotte for Shepard. Shepard just wheels it back in the Toronto zone. Turnbull ready to start it. Off to Sittler again. Now Turnbull. Turnbull in the center ice. Fires in. Blocked by Graham. Trying to clear it himself. Kept in by Salming. Now to Sittler. Sittler in front. Score! Lanny McDonald just like that. As McDonald got in position, Sittler set him up in front. And a power play goal by McDonald ties the game at 2.
Well, the Toronto Maple Leafs worked the Bruins in a position where they came out of that box. Now watch McDonald move into the place where a defenseman should be. Right here, that's Rick Smith in the corner. Now McDonald should have been covered by that box formation. The Bruins were out of it. And of course, that gave the opening. That's what a power play is all about. You try to work the puck around as much as you can, trying to draw the opposition out of that square box formation so you get that man in close. And McDonald ties it at 2-2 from Sittler.
Milbury clears in. Jonathan going in against Salming. And he rattles Salming. Oh, what a hit he gave him. Out comes Sittler with McDonald. Sittler over the line. Lost it to Rattel. Rattel to Middleton. Everybody hitting here. Wild one.
Middleton over the line, broken up by Pellick. Park keeps it in. Park in for Middleton. Pass in front, bounces. Milbury moving to Rattel. A backhand block. Middleton had it, couldn't put it home. Jonathan, a shot and a save. Palmatier. As down goes McDonald, and Stan Jonathan hit him. And Jonathan, who got a 5-minute major for racking up Sittler, has hit Salming and Lanny McDonald. And I tell you, Stan Jonathan, very definitely a factor. There he is. He's fired up. And he should have scored.
Well, he and Middleton had a great chance. However, the puck was bouncing around, and it finally bounced to Palmatier. But the Leafs tie it up at 2-2. McDonald is 42nd of the year from Salming and Sittler.
Toronto sending out Johansson and Turnbull on defense. Rattel is centering Jonathan and Middleton. Williams is taking the face-off. Rattel gets it to Jonathan. To Milbury, let it go. The shot blocked. Deflects. Maloney has it over the line. Maloney holding. Pass in front, blocked by Milbury. Can't clear it out. Kept in by Turnbull. The drive, the save. Graham on a stinging shot. Jonathan gets it outside the line. And Turnbull with it. And here's Walker and Jonathan. And down goes Jonathan. Kurt Walker. Jonathan giving away a lot on the big boy. And Jonathan has fought a lot of big ones. Kurt Walker taking him on here. They're kind of wrapped up. Jonathan trying to get free to get a punch in. Walker throwing them. And they're going at it. Jonathan trying to throw. Walker throws some good lefts. And Jonathan gets him down with that body lift. And the linesman atop the two. And it's been quite a night for Stan Jonathan. I tell you, gave away a lot there battling Walker, but did okay. And we have a break in the action. The score, Boston 2 and Toronto 2.
Discover that great Cutlass feeling along the highways of your mind. When you drive a Cutlass Supreme, you'll feel the pleasure of a lean new look, the comfort of a roomy interior, the economy of Supreme's EPA gas mileage, 27 highway, 19 city. Test drive Cutlass Supreme at your Olds dealers. Within moments, you'll discover that great Cutlass feeling. There's a lot of news in Olds today.
Well, we saw a flurry of these in the first period, and now it's getting to the point where it's detracting from the good hockey that these two teams are capable of playing, and it's a battle royal as Jonathan and Walker go at it. We've had 1, 2, 3. That's the fourth pair-offs that we've had so far in this game, and we're just about a minute 57 seconds into the second period. I would hope at this moment, Fred, things could settle down a little bit and play the kind of hockey that we witnessed yesterday afternoon. Wide open, hard hitting, and nobody took anything away from anybody, but it was a great hockey game. This one now is slowed down to a battle of dropping the gloves, and away we go.
2-2 the score, 18:03 left in the second period. Weir centers Ellis and Williams. Boston has McNabb, O'Reilly, and Wensink. O'Brien and Rick Smith. Johansson and Turnbull on the Toronto defense. McNabb rushes. Feeding in. Wensink trying to go in. Palmatier rolls it around. Williams there. Williams hit by Wensink. McNabb trying to poke it free, and Ellis tries to start out. He's hit by O'Reilly. And down they both go. Wensink rattles one in, and I tell you, this is some kind of game. O'Brien moving to keep it in, can't. And out comes Weir with Turnbull and Ellis. A pass to Ellis, the shot, the save, Graham, a beauty on Ron Ellis. And O'Brien trying to come out, is checked. Weir keeps it in. A pass and a save on Williams by Graham, a beauty. Wensink in the corner, trying to move it out. They get it out. Wensink losing now to Turnbull. And Ellis clears it away. Back for it, O'Brien. Icing on the play. A bruising game, and trying to recall all the checks. O'Reilly on Ellis was hard enough. You could feel that one.
Well, here's Graham being tested twice severely. This one by Ellis. He had it on target, but just the backhand glove at the last minute. Boston starting to try to hit everybody in sight, running around a little bit, giving the Leafs an opportunity to possibly capitalize with some good passing. And there's another drive as Weir set up Williams in front, and he tried to tip it by Graham.
Jonathan is the fourth Bruin to go over 100 penalty minutes this season. He's sitting out a major now with Kurt Walker. Rattel, Middle, and Miller the line. Miller for Park. Screen shot deflected wide. Miller in on Salming. Checks him. And Butler and Salming able to pin the puck and get a face-off. Boston had a 2-0 lead on goals by Cashman and Wensink, but Weir got one in the first period. And Lanny McDonald is 42nd of the year from Salming and Sittler after 59 seconds of play. A power play goal for Toronto. And it was their 61st, correction, 53rd of the year. Shepard on against Sittler. The draw goes to Salming. Salming up the middle to Maloney. Maloney broken up by Park. For Cashman, right back on the threat here with Marcotte. For Shepard. Shot blocked by Salming. Shepard on it. Back for Milbury. Fed in deep. Cashman can't get it. And the Leafs have it. Mike Pelech carries out with Sittler. Clearing in. Graham hurries it along. Marcotte trying to move it out. Can't. And in the boards, Milbury battling Sittler. And Shepard checking Maloney. And a face-off call by McCauley. With this break in the action, let's pause for this message.
Number 1 under the moon. That's Delta to Florida. Only Delta flies thrifty night coach nonstops to all 3 big Florida resorts. You fly to Miami for only $100, to Fort Lauderdale for $100 too, to Tampa St. Pete for just $96. And you get free champagne with your late snack, even at beer budget fares. Call Delta or your travel agent for a moonlight flight to Florida. Delta is ready when you are.
Face off to the left of Graham. Ferguson. Draw goes to Middleton. Middleton breaks it out. Checked. Boutet moves it back. O'Brien now. Away to Rattel. Rattel the clear in. Miller is on with Middleton on the wings. Johansson trying to clear. Rick Smith pokes it up. Johansson fires it out, but right to O'Brien. O'Brien's pass bounces over, and Lanny McDonald, who tied up the game, gets it away to Sittler. Pass stopped by O'Brien. Turnbull on it. Played right back in. Graham blocking it. Looking for Miller. On the dasher, it bounces out to center ice. Sittler winding up for Johansson. Now to Turnbull. Ian Turnbull. Pass over the line, and Sittler can't collect it. Miller. A lead pass in, knocked away by Johansson. And this is icing. From the Garden, the score, Boston 2 and Toronto 2.
Come on and taste a real good time at Valley's. Come on and bring the family down to Valley's. It doesn't cost a lot to taste the best we've got. Everything's fresh here. The menu's the best here. Come on and taste a real good time at Valley's.
Valley's in Andover, Saugus, Braintree, and Newton, also in Kittery, Maine.
That's the time left in the second period. McNabb on the faceoff with Weir. Puck goes back to Mike Pelech. Glennie was thrown out of the game, third man in the fight in the first period between Sittler and Jonathan. Salming broken up by Wensink, and he can't get the shot away. Milbury back for it. Milbury checked and hit by Williams, and they're ready to go at it, and O'Reilly steps right in between, and we're going to have more action here as Ellis breaks it out over the line, and the play offside. Weir was hauled offside by O'Reilly. Williams and Milbury and O'Reilly just went right in between them. So, quite apparently, we'll have a lot more fighting left than a 2-2 game. Bob Miller coming out to play left wing for Wensink with McNabb and O'Reilly. The draw goes back to Boyasami. Over to Pellick, up to Williams. He loses to Park. Park can't set up McNabb. And Samin plays it back in. Park up for Miller to McNabb. He's broken up. Milbury has it. Out to O'Reilly. O'Reilly over the line. Gets by Samin. Knocked down. Drops it back for Milbury. Milbury moving. Going wide. Drops it in front. It's blocked by Samin. Milbury hit by Williams. O'Reilly after Samin. Hauls him down. Out comes Ellis. Ellis to Weir. And Weir fires in. Back for it, Miller. Miller hit by Williams, but the puck cleared away. Down to the Toronto end. Icing. 13:43 left, second period. In a 2-2 game this afternoon, St. Louis beat Washington 3-2. And last night, St. Louis beat Chicago 5-4. But today, Chicago beat Pittsburgh 9-1. After the Penguins surprised Toronto last night with a victory. Ian Turnbull, the Toronto defenseman, and now Ferguson is centering Boutet and Butler. The Boston line, Rattel, Wensink, and Middleton. Jonathan and Walker still in the 5-minute majors. O'Brien around for Wensink. Wensink trying to move it out. Hit Sittler, Rattel, they all fight for it. Rattel snaps it in wide of Palmatier, and Turnbull starting back. Johansson up for Turnbull. Good puck carrier. Trying to move right through. Ridden off, and Rick Smith starts it back. For Rattel. Rattel to Wensink. The shot. The save, Palmatier. Good wrist shot by John Wensink. 40 feet out, but he had it on the corner, and Palmatier made the stop.
Well, here's a good crossfire shot. Now watch Wensink. He's going from left to right, but he fires it back to the right of Palmatier, who's now starting to come over to block the short side. And he has to very quickly readjust and come back the other way. That's a tough save for a goaltender to make. Bobby Orr was great at that. He used to streak down the right side, and then he'd cut over to the left side. Now, being a left-hand shot, he'd fire it back to the right-hand corner, and he'd score sometimes.
McDonald out in the 2-1 with Maloney. Park is back. McDonald passes, and it's behind Maloney, and Park comes right back on a break for Boston. 4 men up. Park with Rattel. Over the line. Shot. Save, Palmatier. And no rebound as he's able to trap it. And Toronto had a 2-1, and Park played that very well. Sittler, number 2, in leading scorers, tied with Trottier, Brian Trottier. Here it is.
Well, here's Park with a drive, partially screened, and right on target, but Palmatier was right there, ready to grab it. On those slap shots, it's difficult for the player shooting it to know where it's going, and of course it's even more difficult for the goaltender to know. He's just got to watch the puck. And sometimes they come right in the center, as that one did.
Shot. Screen shot by Milbury. Blocked in front, and Samin carries out. Samin, the clear in. McDonald, Milbury go for it. It's batted away. Samin keeps it in. Cuts in front. Fires, and it's wide. And he had a good threat there in that shot. Middleton taps it out. Jonathan trying to get it. Maloney broke him up. Maloney clears it back in. Milbury there. Trying to move it out. Sittler kept it in, and it's a shot by McDonald. A save, Graham, the puck out, and Rattel with it with Middleton over the line. Off for Middleton. Middleton fires, blocked in front by Pellick. Stolen by Middleton. Middleton in, the shot over. It struck Jonathan, went over the net. And back comes Sittler. A lead pass for McDonald too far. Rick Smith with it. Broken up. Sittler trying to move in. McDonald was offside on the play. From the Garden, the score, Boston 2 and Toronto 2.
You can take away my hook shot and the pass behind my back. You can take away all my deceptive moves and my slam dunk attack. All right. You can take away my rebound, yeah, my fast and fancy play. But please don't take my gusto away.
If you don't have stakes, you don't have gusto. Brother, you don't have faith.
Say, man, you double dribble my gusto.
the ability to take advantage of an opening left by the opposition. Middleton moves in, but unfortunately Jonathan got in his way right here, and he tried to flip it up for the top corner on that far side, but somehow the puck hit something on the way through, and it went over the top of the net.
Rick Smith broken up by Ferguson, and the puck in deep. Shepard around the boards for O'Brien. Up for Cashman. Cashman flipping in. Marcotte hustles in, gets it. The shot locked, and Johansson to Ferguson. Out now for Boutet. Cashman hauls down Ferguson. Boutet is over the line with Turnbull. Turnbull trying to move in, broken up. O'Brien trying to clear it out. Now Marcotte carries it out. Up for Cashman. Cashman over the line, looking for Marcotte. It's broken up by the back checking of Ferguson. Out for Boutet with Butler. Long shot kicked away by Graham. Rebound, Cashman. Cashman can't move it out. Now has it again. And carries. Trying to clear it in, can't. O'Brien tried to move it in, but that play was offside. Let's pause 5 seconds for station identification. This is the Boston Bruins Television Network.
This is TV 38, WSBK TV, Boston.
Well, I'd like to mention an event going on tomorrow night at the West Suburban Arena in Natick. The Framingham Picks of the American Junior Hockey League will be hosting a touring team from Gothenburg, Sweden. Västra Frölander Junior A hockey team will be playing there tomorrow night. Should be very interesting. And the kids put on quite a show, and it's at 7:45 tomorrow night at the West Suburban Arena in Natick. And if you go by, you'll have an enjoyable evening.
Puck to Brad Park. Clearing in now. McNabb, O'Reilly, and Wensink the line. Salming clears it off to Williams. Williams sweeps into center ice. Pass up for Pellick. Pellick back in front, blocked by Park. Park starts it away to McNabb, to O'Reilly. Coming up on Pellick. The pass is stopped by Salming and fired out to Williams with Walker. Walker, a shot. Save Graham. The rebound, Park. Park checked by Weir. Plays it around the other side for Milbury. Milbury trying to come out, checked. Williams there. Down goes Walker, the puck tied up, and the faceoff called with 10:23 left in the second period in a 2-2 game that has featured a flock of fights, many of them involving Stan Jonathan, who has been throwing his weight around with good body checking. Boston had a 2-0 lead, but the Leafs have tied it. Ellis at right wing for Walker. Pellick a shot, save Graham. Weir, the rebound. Dropped it back, Salming, a shot. Whistled it just wide. Rebound, Milbury, and that came close. Milbury starts it away for McNabb. McNabb clearing in. Wensink goes in. Palmateer gets it around to Williams. Williams hit by O'Reilly. The puck to Wensink. Wensink checked by Pellick. And Pellick gets the whistle and the faceoff to the left of Mike Palmateer.
Well, Boston has played extremely well tonight. They've spent a lot of time in the Toronto end. If there's one thing you could say that might be critical about the Bruins' performance, Fred, is they're a little sloppy in their own end. They're giving Toronto, once they control the puck, that second opportunity, it slips off somebody's stick or a bad pass. Toronto's had some good scoring opportunities when it looked like Boston was controlling the play in their own end, and that's something can be very dangerous against a team that is opportunistic. They really take advantage of mistakes made in the other team's end. They've had a great season.
O'Reilly with it. O'Reilly to Rick Smith. Up the middle, a shot blocked. Miller trying to get it free, and Palmateer made a big stop there. The Bruins controlled it for a good shot by Rick Smith, and Palmateer was able to tie up that one. And John McCauley saying something to Palmateer. Can't even guess what that's about. Jimmy Jones and McNabb on the faceoff. Draw to Boston. Miller to Rick Smith. The pass blocked. Out comes Ellis. Ellis may get a break. Moves in. Hit the side of the net as Graham came out. Ellis centers it. Rick Smith trying to knock it away. And now O'Brien starts it out to McNabb with Miller. McNabb over the line. Off for Miller. Can't control it. Salming hit by Miller. O'Reilly with the puck. To Rick Smith. Up from Miller. Tapped in, and the Leafs back checking well. Williams clears it out. O'Brien over to Rick Smith. Back to O'Brien. He missed it. Able to get it now, though. And the clear out. McNabb to O'Reilly. Good play with Miller. O'Reilly over the line. O'Reilly left it for Rick Smith. The shot caught as Miller was pushed into the net by Ron Ellis. And the faceoff to the right of Palmateer. 9:04 left. Second period, 2-2 game.
Good passing by the Bruins as Palmateer made another stop on a drive that was about knee-high as O'Reilly set this one up beautifully. Making the drop pass here to the defenseman, Rick Smith, and there's the drive, but Palmateer had a good look at it as the goal scoring. Cashman and Winsink in that order put Boston out in front 2-0. Weir in the first period made it 2-1, and McDonald has scored here in the second at 59 seconds.
Rattel, Jonathan Middleton, the Boston line against Sittler, Maloney, and McDonald. Milbury watching McDonald way up at center ice. The Bruins forecheck, and Rattel trying to get it to Jonathan. But out comes Turnbull off to Lanny McDonald. Fires in the corner. The rebound, Park. Around the boards, Jonathan. Check. Trying to work it out. Stop. Now Milbury works it out. To Rattel, a good break here with Middleton. Off to Middleton. Rattel heads for the net. Middleton fires and misses. Rebound. Milbury can't keep it in at the left point. Park. Flips it up, stopped. Sittler got it. Checked. Rattel has it. Looking for Jonathan. Knocked away by Johansson. Now Lanny McDonald right back. Over the line on the boards. Stopped. Keeps it in into the dangerous Sittler. A centering pass blocked by Milbury. Milbury around the boards and not out. Lanny McDonald. A quick flip in to Sittler. He can't get it. Milbury now to Jonathan. A pass out to Middleton. Middleton for Jonathan over the line with Park and closing. The shot right on the save. Palmateer. And boy, Johansson allowed Jonathan great penetration. A break in the action. The score, Boston 2 and Toronto 2.
Announcing the great Dodge option sale. Here's the 1978 Dodge Aspen, the greatest sales success story in Dodge history. Now with 17 popular options, sticker priced at $250 less than the cost of these options if purchased separately. Electronic options, styling options that come to your Dodge dealer at sticker prices that let him help you save during the great Dodge option sale.
Today's Dodge dealers
Face off to the right of Palmateer. Shepard, Cashman, Marcotte with Rick Smith and O'Brien. Schmott still out of action. Shepard tried to move in with it, couldn't, and Boutet breaks it out with Butler. Butler's offside. 7:47 left.
Mentioning Bobby Schmott's, Fred reminded me that I didn't cover the Schmott-Gilbert injuries, but Bobby has got that broken heel. He is improving after playing 3 games. He's sat out 4 now. Talked to him before the game, and he's going to start skating in earnest tomorrow and hopes to be back possibly in a week. Gilbert the same way. He's going to skate in a good scrimmage tomorrow and see how it feels.
Shepard backhands it in. Kellick there. Loses. Cashman got it in front. And it's knocked away now by the Leafs. Rick Smith. Over to O'Brien. O'Brien up to Cashman. Cashman to Shepard. Shepard to Marcotte. Marcotte to Cashman. The shot struck. Marcotte went wide. Cashman in the corner. Battling. Hit by Ferguson. Boutet there. And they freeze it. And pushing Boutet and Cashman. And they keep their sticks and they're shoving. And Cashman now moves in on him. But again, it's kind of wrestling. Boutet and Cashman. Cashman shoving along the boards. And now the linesmen who have had a very busy evening move in.
Leon Stickle and Will Norris have really earned their pay here tonight. And we are just a little past the halfway mark.
Not separated yet. As John McCauley looks on. And now they're separated. From Boston Garden, breaking the action. This is the Boston Bruins Television Network.
TWA introduces Round Trip Check-In. Now on TWA, you can check in once and fly twice.
When you pick up your outbound boarding pass, you can get your return trip boarding pass at the same time. So on the way back, you don't have to wait in line to check in again.
Great. That's one less line in my life.
Round Trip Check-In, only on TWA. Check in once, fly twice.
Well, this is Ferguson and Cashman going into the boards. The body checking was clean. It was the high sticks that caused this problem. This 15 is Boutet. Watch the stick. I think he hits Cashman on the head right here with the stick coming down right there. And that's what prompted Cashman to get a little bit upset and decide that he was going to handle things. And we have another problem with penalties. Cashman and Boutet. The penalties will be assessed at 12:45 of the second period. We'll have to wait to see how they are assessed by the referee, John McCauley.
And it could be that Cashman's getting an extra penalty here, as he apparently heard a decision of McCauley, and now he's started halfway out of the box.
He may be upset at something the linesman told the referee regarding this thing, and he may be upset at either one of the two linesmen. The referee will, if he's not sure, will go to the two linesmen, one or the other or both, and ask them their opinions, and then he will draw his own conclusions. But Cashman looks like he's got a problem here, and he may be through.
They may have given him a misconduct, John, on top. Let's hope that that's all it is, and not that the Bruins will be penalized and be a man short in the situation.
Well, the game is all tied up at 2-2. Cashman at 7:59 of the first period put Boston out in front 1-0 with his 18th of the year. At 9:08, Wensing made it Boston 2, Toronto 0 with his 15th. At a 12:21, Stan Weir is 9th of the year, and that's the way the first period ended, 2-1 in favor of Boston. The Toronto Maple Leafs have scored the only goal here in the second period on a power play. They're 53rd of the year. McDonald from Salming and Sittler. And for Lanny McDonald is 42nd of the year.
Don Cherry moving in there, and now there is a 2-minute assessment. Well, that's on Boutet, number 15. Wait and see. Cashman has gone to the dressing room. Whether it's I don't know what's taking McCauley so long, and what seems, of all the battles tonight, that would rank as
Toronto penalty
the mildest.
To number 15, Pat Boutet. 2 minutes high sticking. 2 minutes unsportsmanlike conduct. 5 minutes fighting. For Boston, number 12, Wayne Cashman. 2 minutes high sticking, 5 minutes fighting, and a gross misconduct.
Well, that puts him through for the night. Cashman, that is, received high sticking 2 minutes, 5 minutes for fighting, and a gross misconduct, which is a gesture or saying something to a referee, linesman, whatever. And so he draws the game misconduct. On the other hand, Boutet gets high sticking, 2 minutes for unsportsmanlike conduct, and 5 minutes for fighting. So Boston will have the man advantage for 2 minutes because Boutet draws two 2-minute penalties and a 5. Cashman draws a 2 and a 5 in a game, but the game does not affect, and neither do the 5 minutes except against the player. So the Leafs will be a man short.
Roger Nielsen behind the Toronto bench, Boutet in the penalty box. And a gross misconduct could cover a lot of situations, but it might have been, could have pushed a linesman over there in the corner, although it didn't look like there was time for all that amount of penalties. And John McCauley, who's the type of referee, he's called more penalties tonight, more penalty minutes than he'll call in a month in the National Hockey League.
Well, this has been a penalty-filled game, I guess, with all the kind of ramifications that have been going on for one thing and another. But Cashman and Boutet are in the penalty box, or at least Cashman's in the dressing room, Boutet's in the penalty box.
And that's 79 minutes in penalties. But immediately, Boston a power play. Shepard, Marcotte, O'Reilly with McNabb and Park. Jones got the puck to Pelech. Around the boards, McNabb trying to keep it in, and Butler breaks it out. 2-on-1 with Jones. And the pass in front. Shepard got back and blocked the play, and out comes McNabb. He is barreling. Over the line. Drops it for O'Reilly. O'Reilly off for Park. The shot blocked by Palmatier, and the rebound cleared by Pelech. Shepard to O'Reilly. He's broken up. And Salming clears it in the Boston end. McNabb there. Now to Park, the quarterback on the power play. Starts it out, minute 20 left. 2-2 game. Up for McNabb. Butler checks it. Now it's batted in by McNabb, but Pelech there. Pelech checked by O'Reilly. O'Reilly back to Park, and a good play. In for O'Reilly. In for McNabb. In front. And it sweeps across, and Butler clears it out. 53 seconds left. 2-2 the score. 6:05 left in the second period. Park to O'Reilly. Trying to move in. He's checked. Park keeps it in. Park moving in deep. Still looking behind the net. Still going. Off in the corner. McNabb back at the point. Park holds it beautifully. Off for McNabb. A shot blocked. Salming tied it up. And the fans want a penalty for Salming reaching out to tie it up, but none called. 26 seconds left on the penalty. At the end of tonight's game, Schlitz Light Beer, the only light beer with gusto, will present the Most Valuable Player Award. Shepard, O'Reilly, Marcotte with McNabb and Park.
Well, we'll read from the book for you on the gross misconduct penalty. On any player, manager, coach, or trainer who is guilty of gross misconduct of any kind, any person incurring a misconduct penalty shall be suspended for the balance of the game. So maybe Cashman said something to the linesman. You don't know.
Shepard on the draw. Jones there, and Toronto gets it and clears. Back for Park. Penalty almost up. Over to McNabb. Looking for Shepard, who yelled for the pass, and McNabb gave it to him just a fraction of a second too late, and he was offside. So there are 15 seconds left on Boutette's penalty.
Boston's going to have to be careful here. If they move the puck in quickly to the Toronto end, Maloney, who is in the penalty box and will come out when Boutette's original penalty expires, will be in an excellent position if the Toronto Maple Leafs could spring him loose and get that puck up to him.
Smith and O'Brien are on defense, so Cherry has defensemen out there now as Palmatier gets it to Turnbull. He's checked. Rattel back for Rick Smith. Back up for Rattel. Rick Smith. In Jonathan. Couldn't deflect it. O'Brien moves in deep, but it's batted away into center ice. Maloney out to get it, but plays it back over the Toronto line. And Johansson. Pass stopped by Rick Smith. Fed back in wide of Palmatier. 5 minutes left. Second period. 2-2 the score. Johansson loses to Jonathan. Jonathan trying to center it. Rattel has it in front, and Middleton couldn't backhand it. And out comes Maloney. Maloney over the line. Gets a shot away. Graham the save. The rebound is Rattel. Rattel off for Rick Smith. Back for Rattel. Rattel over the line. The puck rides in as Rattel was checked and is covered up by Palmatier. And stay tuned during the second period intermission. Johnny Pearson will have King Clancy as his guest. Then Dick Stockton will be talking with Red Sox captain Carl Yastrzemski in Winter Haven.
And King is ready and waiting over there in the runway behind the Bruins bench. And what a guy that guy is. Many, many years in the National Hockey League, doing all kinds of duties, mainly with the Toronto Maple Leafs, but a real character.
Shepard, Marcotte, Middleton, the line. Cashman out of the game. Glennie, third man in. Cashman, gross misconduct. 4:27 left, second period. 2-2 the score. Pelech drives it out. Graham has to play it. No icing. Milbury there. Around for Marcotte. Taps it out to the Toronto zone. Pelech with Shepard on him. pass up into center ice. And Park on the rolling puck to Middleton. Middleton trying to move it out. Now Park starts it away. Up for Milbury. Milbury over the line. Drops it for Marcotte. Back in for Milbury. Knocked away by Parmentier. And Lanny McDonald to Sittler. Middleton checks Sittler. Sittler broken up by Park. Park right back. Off for Marcotte. Marcotte over the line. Fires. Save. Short side save. Puck knocked out. And to Sittler, 2-1 with Maloney. Sittler over the line. Off for Maloney. Maloney right back. Save, a beauty by Graham. And Milbury clears. Icing on the play. And a fine stop by Ron Graham on Dan Maloney, who was set up by Sittler on a 2-1 break. And the Bruins have given up more of those tonight than they have in many a game.
A nice play by Darryl Sittler, setting up Maloney. Watch him fake the shot, so he draws Park as deep as he possibly can, then fires it back to Maloney. This is good timing. And he was right on target, but Graham stayed right with it. Very quick action by Graham as he moved over to adjust to that pass by Sittler, who set up the play beautifully.
The draw to O'Brien. Around looking for Wensink. Can't get it. Walker is hit by McNabb and spun down. O'Reilly with the puck. Check. Gets it to Rick Smith. Up the boards. O'Reilly breaks it out with McNabb on the far right. Maybe 2-on-1. O'Reilly in front. It's blocked by Turnbull. Walker trying to clear it out. Rick Smith keeps it in. In front. McNabb can't get the pass. Wensink keeps it in now. To McNabb. To O'Reilly. He can't get the shot away. And Weir off to Williams. Williams coming up on O'Brien. Cuts across in front, is broken up, the puck stays with him, and O'Brien gets it now. To McNabb, a breakout for Boston. Wensink coming up on the left side. McNabb has to wind up again, gives it off to O'Reilly. He's up the middle, over the line, he's in. He scores! Terry O'Reilly! A brilliant rush, up the middle, between the defense. Drew Parmentier out, and O'Reilly gives Boston a 3-2 lead.
This is the hockey player, number 24, Terry O'Reilly, catches the youngster, Johansson. No experience, but this is a magnificent play. He gets Parmentier to commit himself and then draws it to the side on the backhand and flips it home. A beautiful play by Terry O'Reilly, but credit Peter McNabb with a good play. He actually, by spinning around, drew the Toronto defense over to one side, leaving Johansson all by himself. The youngster in his first year in the National Hockey League. And O'Reilly took advantage of it and moved in. And the Bruins out in front 3-2.
Well, there's a sign for Terry O, who scored a beautiful goal. Rattel to Middleton. They can't move it in. And Salming back with Sittler. Pass into the corner. Milbury there. Drives it right out. All the way to Parmentier. 2:15 left in the second period. Salming up to McDonald. Blocked by Milbury. And Milbury bounced off him into the stands. The face-off at center ice. Terry, beautiful. Goal scorer's goal.
Well, here's a beautiful play. His head up. He's watching Parmentier. He's got the puck out in front. Now he'll fake it to one side. Get Parmentier to move. And Parmentier almost got that with a catching glove. O'Reilly just managed to get it up enough to pop it right over the glove.
It's the 13th second period in a row that the Bruins have scored at least one goal. Rattel, Jonathan Middleton with Milbury and Park. Milbury clears it in with 2 minutes left in the second period. In the corner, Jonathan fighting to keep it in, but out comes Ferguson. Flips it wide of Graham. Back first, Milbury. Milbury, Middleton. And it's fed in the Toronto end. Jonathan in on Salming. And they just go gently in the corner this time, and it's tied up. O'Reilly's 26th of the year from McNabb on O'Brien at 17:29 here in the second period to give Boston a 3-2 lead. Earlier scores by Cashman and by Wensink, and Cashman tossed out of the game in a gross misconduct. Minnesota leads the Rangers 3-2 in the second period of their game tonight. This afternoon, St. Louis 3, Washington 2. And Chicago 9, Pittsburgh 1. Bruins meet Cleveland Tuesday night. We'll have the action right here from Cleveland. The draw, Shepard to Milbury, shot off Shepard and deflects wide. Sittler with it. Shepard on him, and the pass is too far, and Milbury has it. Milbury up for Middleton, ahead for Shepard. Shepard holding inside the line. A pass in front. Marcotte couldn't tip it home, and he trips over Parmentier. Beautiful timing, almost worked. Shepard and Marcotte. Maloney off for Sittler. Sittler checked, still has it. Fell down. Shepard gets it over the line with Marcotte. Goes for the shot. Save! And the clear by Turnbull as the Bruins had it right in front again. Sittler right back. Those big strides. He's broken up on an easy poke check by Park to Shepard. Passes to an open wing. 50 seconds left in the period. Middleton in the forecheck against Johansson. Shepard to Marcotte. It's knocked away. Milbury with it. Knocked back over the line and takes the offside. A smart move with 42 seconds left. Sittler, McDonald, Maloney the line with Turnbull and Johansson. And Boston in front 3-2. Terry O'Reilly. Of course, he's surpassed his best goal totals. And he has 26 now. Had a big fight with Maloney right at the start of the game. Just about everybody's been in a fight on both sides. Shepard, Middleton, and Marcotte. Shows you how Middleton has developed as a checker. John Cherry uses him in situations like this. Shepard over the line. The shot is wide. Rebound, Williams. Got back to get it. Middleton, he's checked. Puck goes loose. Butler has it. Butler slides it in. Checked by Park. Milbury trying to wheel it around. Jones intercepts. Jones pass stopped by Park to Marcotte to Park. 3-on-2 for the moment. Park lost it on the dribble, and back comes Toronto with a threat. Jones, he's all alone though. The Bruins get back. The shot stunned Graham. Oh, hit him high in the mask. Shot by Jones. Puck kept in by Jones again. A shot blocked, and a whistle by McCauley as Shepard went down, and it's Dan Canny out to look at Graham, who took that high shot by Jones. It stunned him. 6 seconds left in the period, and Dan Canny talking to him. This is Jim Jones, certainly not known for his shots or goal-scoring ability, but he ripped this one off right from the blue line. And it seemed to take off, and it struck Graham as he went up and caught him high, but just a double check by Canny. He's okay. There is the shot. And Graham coming up for it, and that stunned him. The rebound out in front, but the Bruins covered it. Turnbull clears it in. Time running out in the period. Graham okay, back to touch it for Park, who seems to be again everywhere here tonight. Score at the finest with the Bruins in the second period tonight. The Bruins scored 1 goal, and Mae Thomason of Lincoln, Rhode Island, is the winner of 2 tickets to a future Bruins game, plus a $25 food certificate from the finest. Enter now at your finest supermarket and score with the Bruins. At the end of 2, Boston 3, the Leafs 2. Tom Larson will be right back with second period intermission after these messages.
Recently, the Yellow Pages selected 49 different retailers, from bakers and bankers to restaurants and roofers. Each was given a special phone number to appear only in their ad in the Yellow Pages. During a measured time period, all incoming calls were metered. The minimum number of calls to any retailer was 156. The maximum was 3,575. Proof it pays to run your business in the Yellow.
Hey guys, Grandma's got a surprise for you. There's a whole batch of them. How many are there?
Well, come on, and taste the Pepsi way. Come on, and have a Pepsi day. The laughter of a world at play. Memories of a Pepsi day. Come on, and have a Pepsi day.
Wempus, if this package isn't in Peoria by tomorrow morning, it's your job.
Freeman, if this package isn't in Peoria by tomorrow morning, it's yours.
Benson,
If this package isn't in Peoria by tomorrow morning...
Harley, if this package is not in Peoria by tomorrow...
If more people knew enough to call Federal Express in a situation like this, it sure would save everybody a whole lot of grief.
Hello, Federal.
Federal Express. When it absolutely, positively has to be there overnight.
Midnight is mystery. Midnight is excitement. Now, midnight is Cougar, the Midnight Cat, in midnight blue and chamois. A bold new Mercury Cougar XR7 for $78 with deeply cushioned buckets, floor shift, console, and padded tire deck. Cougar XR7 Midnight Cat.
Isn't this your year to join the cat set?
The Bruins and Toronto at the end of 2 periods now with the score Boston 3 and Toronto 2. 2-period shots on goal totals Boston 17 and Toronto 13. During the intermission here between the second and third periods, John Pearson talks with King Clancy, and Red Sox broadcaster Dick Stockton talks with Carl Yastrzemski.